let's call the meeting to order, and let's have roll call.
Agnes Varnarski,
Present.
Chairperson.
Present.
Dana Syvertson, Commissioner.
Here.
John Kamish, Commissioner.
Here.
Ed Madding, Commissioner.
Present.
Pete Hahn, Commissioner.
Here.
I'm Jill Moskow, Commissioner. Seth Marcus is absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. And let's have approval of the minutes of the board meeting of January 9th, 2025.
I recommend that we make a motion, rather, that we approve the meeting minutes as so beautifully crafted by Jill Moskow, the secretary.
Thanks,
Second.
Dana.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, minutes
Good job,
approved.
Jill.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations, PHNRC.
We're
We've-
11 years old
11 years old.
Yay.
Unbelievable, huh?
Yesterday.
We're hitting puberty.
Look out.
Teenager.
Yes.
We're going to be
Okay.
really crabby for the next couple of years.
Okay, moving on to old business, volunteer workdays, winter projects.
Okay, the winter workdays have been great turnouts again when we've had favorable enough weather to actually conduct them.
We've only canceled one workday so far
We've
because of the weather.
conducted one so far, yeah.
Canceled.
And tomorrow's, or Sunday's workday is in jeopardy of being canceled. It depends on snow and temperature, and we're supposed to get 8 to 10 inches of snow, and it's supposed to be 0 to
17 degrees.
18 with a 60-mile-an-hour wind on Sunday. So
So what's the problem?
we'll see.
Well, it's going to be 0 when we start
see.
in the morning, so we'll see. I mean,
We'll
by
decide
Thursday,
on-
we'll decide on Thursday. But definitely would need a lot of hand warmers and toe warmers and
And more
dress-
snow on Saturday.
and possibly more snow on Saturday. So it might be a cancel,
Correct.
but hopefully not. We'll see. We'll have to pick up an area that we can work in the snow in.
The East Leiden High School, we've scheduled 2 workdays for them. March 16th at the Remnant Prairie, and we're going to go after invasive woody species there, and ComEd is going to pick it up and take care of it. And then on April, that will be about 67 volunteers there. And then on April 12th, we're going to do a 40-person transplant at 9 East Marion. So that's going to be a big help. I got an email yesterday from a Cub Scout leader. I don't know where they're from, they're local. On the March 2nd workday, wants to bring 15 people out to work. So I've got them set up to do that exactly. And then on the April the 13th, we're talking about the Sierra Club workday again.
Doing the same thing.
And we need to see if you guys are in favor of doing that or not. So it would be the same thing as last time, only
Not as much planning.
more participation from Sierra Club, I've been guaranteed. So we'll see.
So it's a go?
It's up to
depends
us,
on
we have
you
to
guys.
decide.
Why wouldn't we?
I don't know.
I
It's a
mean,
big deal. There's 100 people,
Yeah, it's doubtful we get 100 again this time, but.
but if we get 80, that's, or 60
yeah,
even, that's a lot of
The goal there at the Prairie would be to,
at the Sedge Meadow.
I mean, the Sedge Meadow would be to get everything on the other side of the,
Cattails, the
other side of the bike path.
Right.
All the buckthorn that's up against the fences there. So that would be the number 1 target, and then number 2 would be.
the railroad.
Anything along the railroad tracks there to take out. So there's enough work. It's just a matter of whether everybody wants to go through with that again.
What would be the hours?
It's a regular workday, 9 to
Okay,
12.
9 to
9,
12.
12.
Well, I believe, there was a lot of planning involved and a lot of setting up and bathrooms and speakers and all kinds of stuff. And I think you did the lion's share of that, right?
We did.
Dana.
We have guarantees from them that that's not going to happen this time. They're meeting tonight. The 2 dates we talked about were February 13th.
No.
No, I'm sorry.
April.
The February,
No, not February. April
April.
13th.
yeah, April 13th or the 27th.
27th, right.
So it'll be one of those 2 days. And those are both work days. So it's not like we're adding extra work this time like we did last time. That was one of them, they wanted to do it on a Saturday, and I said, no, it's too much.
I think if we do it, we should just strictly have it as a workday and not
Right.
have any add-ons, because we
Correct.
had a lot
Right.
to
And that
manage.
was what I've given them. So they're going to meet, they're meeting tonight, and I should have an answer tomorrow. And if you guys are in favor of it, then I don't see any reason not to do it.
It's a lot of fun.
It was a lot of
So
fun.
much work done.
And certainly the connections with the politicians was useful, so. Anybody really opposed to it?
And then we get all that work done. And I'm
All right,
Remnant
so then
Prairie
we'll
too.
go ahead and see what they come back to us with, and then I'll update everybody with an email.
Well, you keep saying Remnant Prairie, but it's the Remnant Sedge Meadow.
For them.
For-
But the Leiden work days is
The
going to
lighting
be
is going to be
Right.
fantastic.
67
Yes.
volunteers
It is
going after
great.
all the brush at the Remnant Prairie. So,
Any questions about that?
Nope.
Okay, the next thing is the Prospect Heights Public Library and Park District events. So this Thursday, February 13th, 7 o'clock, is Flo Blackburn. She's coming live from Scotland, so it's 1:30 in the morning for her, which will be interesting, but she's very young, so. I don't have a new attendance. We've lost our person who is our counterpart at the library. He took another job, and as far as I know, they haven't appointed someone to take her position. So until then, I'm guessing that I'm
his position.
talking to Terry Murphy about coordinating this event. I will be making the introduction of Flo, and then that's it. Flo will be on her own. So everybody, please come out. You can also Zoom in remotely from home. And then as far as the spring bird walks, we're scheduled for May 10th and May 24th. That's both Saturdays. Okay, any questions about that?
No.
Okay. Project status update on Public Service Commons. This is our 5th ComEd Green Regions grant, and I've got news to report on that front. I got a call from Mark Roscoe yesterday telling me that the concrete bids that we proposed in the grant were at a fixed price. And we added $1,000 to it and put that in the budget to make sure that we were covered. They've come back almost doubled.
Wow.
And so it's been hanging for a while, what to do about this. Well, in the meantime, the fire department has passed a referendum and got funding to increase the size of their facility.
Which is great.
And so what they have to do is come up with compensatory storage for water. And what they just immediately thought was, well, we'll just dig out this site and put the extra water there because it'll be deeper. And Mark's telling me this, I'm going, wait a minute, what? And so he says, everything is up in the air at this point. The impact of this could be that it could be no impact whatsoever, that they decide that they're going to do underground storage for the water. It could be that they move parking spaces to the east side of the police department. I suggested that they dig out the front part of the
Police.
police station and put a culvert between the two and then run it around the east side, and that could be their compensatory storage.
But either way, it has to be done by engineering teams.
Right.
And so they're having a meeting, I believe next week, where they're going to be
The
discussing.
18th, they're having a meeting, and I said, I want to be in that meeting, and they said, no, you can't.
Well, it's an engineering meeting. But
I said, what?
it's a meeting for the
And-
experts to discuss the possibilities of doing that. But
Right.
Mark is
And again,
going
it's in
to-
a vacuum with little or no input from us.
But Mark is going to be, I mean, he obviously understands the project, and he's going to be
So
trying to,
worst-case scenarios Mark discussed was the possibility that the gazebo and the platform don't get built because we end up having to dig out that detention pond deeper, and we end up with just a naturalized setting. I said, Mark, that's not going to work. That isn't the grant. That isn't what was approved. In that case, we'd have to go back to ComEd, and we could expect to either have them say, forget it, this is not acceptable, and give them their money back, or whatever the case may be.
or they might say, that's a great
Or
project.
they may say,
Or we could
it's
even expand
okay.
the project.
or,
Possible.
and Mark's way of thinking was that it could end up that we do something with the fire department, and the fire department ends up paying for the extra additional for the concrete. So according to him, everything is up for grabs, everything's negotiable. And so that's where the starting point is for these meetings on the 18th, that we will not have representation in. So that's as much as I've got for you. If anybody has any questions, I'll,
It'd be a shame to lose the grant.
oh, yeah. I mean, well, you know, we have 2 years to do the grant. The original goal here was to have the concrete and the trees in before the snow fell. We had plenty of time to do that, but we couldn't get past.
Bids.
And I got a feeling, and this is part of why we couldn't move it down the road, is because this was lurking out there. But I don't know. I'm just guessing. So the bottom line is,
An opportunity that this could turn into something.
it's
really
either an opportunity that's going to be great and have no effect on the project, or it's going to modify the project and ComEd's going to say, okay, or they're going to say it's not acceptable, and we'll end up killing the grant and giving the money back. So until the 18th, I don't have any more information, and we'll see what happens. Okay? Any questions?
That's February 18th is the meeting?
February 18th, yeah,
Okay.
it's a Tuesday, I believe.
Right. Thank you.
Any comments, questions?
As soon as I find out something, I'll let Joel know. I'll update
Thank
him.
you.
I think it could be a really great opportunity. Maybe we can even expand or do something great.
Yeah,
I'm trying to stay positive.
Me
Right?
too. Things happen for a
Where
reason.
you just expand.
Right, maybe all around, everywhere is going to be.
Well, it's a lot of
excellent now.
supposition right now, and it
I know.
doesn't, makes no
Yeah.
It makes no
point.
sense to, right, until they figure things out. Okay, moving along then, seed greenhouse program. All the seeds are completely down, ready to germinate in the springtime. The greenhouse is ready, everything's good. Seeds are still not all out on the, like, I haven't put them all out yet, but I did a lot today and over the last few days, and then tomorrow morning, before all the snow really hits, I'm gonna put down a lot more seed. We're almost there.
All the specialty seeds that we bought for the ComEd project are out to germinate, so we'll have all those special short species we ordered will be on time if nothing else is.
There's always places you could put them,
Yeah.
always. Okay, moving on then, education updates, MacArthur Middle School, nothing really to report there. Wheeling High School, they have, I think that they're planning field trips in the springtime, but nothing so far. And then the District 214 micro internships, we do have updates about that. We have 3 high school students, and we've interviewed them, and they're all wonderful. 3 girls, one from,
One's from Hersey, one's from Elk Grove, and the other one is from Wheeling.
Wheeling.
All really, really smart, really, really enthusiastic. They're going to start on February 14th at 4:30. It'll be their first official day. Their internship is 30 hours total. Mostly it's education, but we do get work out of it as well. They're extremely excited.
Yeah, they're very excited about it. I didn't realize the first day was on Valentine's Day. Look at that.
What are the hours of the
So for now, we're going to do 4 to 5:30, and then after daylight savings, we're going to go 4:30 to 6:30, because then it gets, I want it to be light outside, and so we could be outside the whole time.
I'll email everybody the schedule.
Yeah, there's a schedule, and then we will be done, they have to be done by May 9th, but we'll be done by the end of April, and then they'll have time to make up, because there's always something that comes up with their schedule. They're very active, high schoolers, and so they have activities and after-school things and sports. So their makeup days will be our work days or seed transplanting days on Wednesdays, once we get that going in April.
Yep.
And anyone that wants to come, yeah.
They get
we'll-
school credit for this, or like, what's the,
This is their Career Pathways program. So it's an internship. We have 2 seniors and 1 junior. So they list it on their, college.
On their college entrance and on their
I don't know. I
resume.
think they get some credit for it, but I don't know, honestly,
I
John.
believe they do. Yeah, I don't know exactly about the credits, but it's basically they're interested into going into this as a field. And so this is their opportunity to learn more about it. And it's always a nice experience, so. It's on the schedule, so if anyone wants to participate, they can during the times. And then spring prescribed burns.
They're coming
They're coming.
someday.
Someday. Yeah, not for a while probably, but I did receive something from WDNR about the cattails. I know we talked about this last year and the year before that, about burning the cattails in the winter when there's ice on the ground. So if there's an opportunity for that when the relative humidity is low, we should really go for it. So it might be just one of those days, like, hey, guys, it's a Tuesday, is anybody available? Let's go get those cattails.
Yeah, I found out that they start those with a propane torch. That's how they light them.
Yeah,
Then it's hot enough to take off, so.
right.
I'm all in favor of that one, for sure.
And super safe. It's surrounded by snow and ice, and you just basically go out there. You go where you can't reach, because in the
Yeah.
springtime, it's muddy and wet, and it never reaches all the cattails.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'll be looking out at the weather for that, and I'll let you know. Otherwise, March looks like the time, mid-March to early April. Okay, moving on then, NRC budget.
nothing new to report for the current budget. There was no new expenditures over the last month that I'm aware of.
No, we're putting together a massive order, so as soon as that's ready, I'll run it by everybody and you can see what we're proposing, and then we'll.
It's basically
decide
like
and
hand
place it.
warmers and glove warmers. We're all out completely. We're still not out of the winter.
There's seed and other.
And then in the springtime, we'll need soil and cups and things.
The proposed budget, I believe we spoke about last time. So I don't know if there's really, I have a copy of the cover letter and the budget. if
I do
anybody
too.
wants to see it.
Thank you for sending it out and composing it.
Maybe the public wants to know what the budget, it's just a couple $100 more than what this.
Right, last year's budget, we received 13,544. This year, we're requesting a slight increase to 13,789. And what we did is eliminated, I think, 3 or 4 line items from this budget, because we can pick it up with what the funds we have left to spend in this year. So that will take care of the need for next year, so we could reduce that. So I think it's responsible, practical, and haven't heard any feedback on it yet, so we'll see.
Very responsible. Thanks for putting that together.
Was that for the Park District or city?
Park District's already been approved.
Oh, okay.
They gave us 1,000 more than last year.
How much more?
1,000 more than
Okay.
last year.
Well, thank you.
Civic risk meetings,
Yes, and PHNRC representation.
Yes. Okay, the Willow Road Improvement Project, the Department of Transportation requested additional geotechnical analysis of the soil due to the poor soil conditions underlaying Willow Road. For the project to progress, additional soil testing is required. Our new police chief is Milo Durman. I hope I'm pronouncing his first name correctly. He is a 12-year veteran with our Prospect Heights Park District Police. The Prospect Heights Park District Board meeting, as you know, the NRC prescribed burns Request for 2024-2025 was approved regarding the parcel at 214 South Wheeling Road, construction of a horseshoe driveway with geogrid, trees planted between the home located north of the property and Tully Park. An installation of a fence was proposed and approved at a cost of $38,000. Construction will begin as soon as weather permits. The 2025 block party is scheduled for Saturday, June 21st. Planning and Zoning Board of Appeals, the chicken ordinance is before the City Council for review. The February PCBA meeting was canceled because they did not have any applications to review, so their next scheduled meeting is March 19th.
So the chicken ordinance is back up for review by the PZBA?
Well, no, the City Council has to thoroughly review it.
Oh, I see.
And what Dan said is that the PCBA has had this for over a year,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't expect the City Council to just have 2 or 3 meetings and then
I see.
have all their questions answered, so.
Okay. And do we have an approval from the city for our burns? Do we know?
I don't know at this point.
Okay, let's reach out, make sure we do. Approval for spring burns. Peter's not here, so we can't ask, but
Yeah.
we can send in an email, make sure that we are approved as well by
We
the
sent them a
city.
copy of the permit, so they know about it.
I know, but it needs to be formally approved by the city council as well. Make sure that it is before we burn. Okay. Moving on then to Friends of the PHNRC.
Jill, have you guys met? I know a couple of committees have met.
All I'm aware of is the January 23rd meeting, and that a small group was formed to work on the mission statement.
Right.
I haven't heard anything further on that, and Marcia hasn't contacted me for me as treasurer and her as president to get a bank account established. But we have a meeting coming up this Monday night.
Right, I have that check for you as well. I'll bring that.
I met with the mission statement committee, and we had a 2-hour meeting and hashed out a lot of things, and all the results and suggestions from that will be presented at the main meeting coming up on Monday.
Cool.
Thank you so much. Great. Okay. Questions, comments? Moving on to summer intern, 20.
Okay, we've already hired one intern, Sawyer Schnell. She was hired, and will start on either June 1st or May 16th, somewhere in there, however the schedule works out. Again, her whole deal was she wanted to make sure that she didn't miss it this time.
We haven't even put the bid out yet.
We haven't even posted a
Nothing.
listing yet.
We do
Nothing.
that in March or April.
Right. And so she was way ahead of the curve. She was an incredibly strong interview, a perfect candidate. So after consulting with Seth and Agnes, we hired her right on the next day. We have another one who's following in the same footsteps, who's a super decorated Illinois athlete. And she's at DePaul University studying environmental sciences and political science as a minor. Her name is Isabel Sparrow. She's going to do an in-person interview on February 27th at 4:30. On paper, she's a very strong candidate. If you Google her up, there's like 8 million things about what an incredibly ferocious competitor she is.
But also she applied last year and it was too late
Yeah.
so she applied super early and she even
Right.
put that in her letter. Like, I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss it again.
So this could be the first year that we potentially end up with 2 people without ever.
Without ever putting out the information. Possibly.
Our reputation precedes us.
Yeah. You almost want to get like 4 more of them.
Yeah.
So,
So if anybody's available on February 27th at 4:30 PM to meet this young woman,
yep,
Is that a Wednesday?
I don't know.
it's a Friday.
Oh, it's a Friday, okay. And you said that was in person?
Yes, at this point, it's in person.
Okay,
May change, but
okay.
I don't
Isn't
think so.
don't we have interns that day?
And-
Yes, you just mentioned it.
Okay, so the tree initiative, East Side Prospect Heights, Peter, I was tentatively going to talk with Brett over at the Park District and River Trails. So far, we haven't gotten together.
Okay.
So, no one else seems to have an appetite for it here, unless we go to the high schools, then, and, I just don't know what else to do.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe East Leiden.
Mhm.
That's one of the areas that
Okay,
falls into the grant.
I will,
Yeah. That's a
I'll
good idea.
absolutely ask
The teacher.
her about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great suggestion.
It
Right.
would be a nice extension
they
of our
would be.
relationship with
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah, they would
You know
be
what?
really-
Wheeling High School, Medea might be.
Yeah, we
Have you-
don't, I don't know, any of the high
Said
schools. I know Rolling Meadows has land available, but you almost need someone on the inside of the school to have a
Right.
contact, like we did at MacArthur,
Yeah.
to get going, so.
Well, at those two schools, East Leiden
And Wheeling, we do have
it
contact.
Good,
So
good.
should I email you I'll email her first and then,
Yeah.
okay.
Let
And then
her
send the
know.
contact over to you?
See if there's any interest.
Yeah, okay,
Because we can get the grants, or my sister can help get them.
okay. Great.
All right, Wild Things. It's a wild thing.
I think I know.
Dana's been working on it for every day now.
John and I got together and came up with a completely different approach than we would normally take, and it's really exciting. So I think this is going to be a tremendous,
You guys been talking and working?
yeah. And so we have yet to incorporate Kathy O'Shea and
Mara.
Mara and
Tully.
Kate Tully in terms of their dialogue, but they've all contributed photos up the kazoo.
It's not going to be a scientific presentation. It's going to be
Story
more of a story about us and how our success with the ecologic restoration we do connects our community. So it's more of a social experiment rather than a nuts and bolts botany experiment, to say the least. So it's kind of what we did, and it's gonna culminate in pulling together the parade and all that stuff that we do, and how that brings the community together in that. So
And I think what John did is really good. There's really minimal information about us in the beginning, and it's more about how COVID created an opportunity for us to do something different. And with the rise of the Sunflower Group and their incredible enthusiasm and their ability to find light and darkness and just make incredible things happen. And then we respond to them and they respond to us. And next thing you know, we're walking down Arlington Heights Road with 12-foot antheads. So,
well, I did add a lot more about us on today's text that I wrote, so I'm going to be forwarding that to you soon.
no problem.
So there will be a very good background about what we do and our other community outreach, things that we do, like the education that we were just talking about, but culminating, like I said, in the collaboration with the artists and then the rest of the community with the parade floats and all that stuff.
Right.
Will you be including the Block Club and those other events?
The what?
The Black
The
Party?
Block Club party?
Block party, no.
Well, you might, I mean, that's,
Well,
They'll get mentioned, but it's not going to expand on
Well,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. But
because
yeah,
with the giveaway, I mean, that really is an engagement tool.
yeah, that's true.
I'll add it in.
All
That's
right.
a good point. Thank you.
Well, God knows I've got enough slides to illustrate. Okay, cool. The presentation is March 1st at 1:15 in room 43. So you got to buy tickets to go. It's a day not to be missed. Once again, there's
Stevenson
just so much
Convention Center,
information.
Rosemont.
You can't possibly do it all.
There's like 100 different speakers, all from,
And I don't know if I sent the email out to everybody on Friday night. They're having a pizza get-together there at one of the hotels right across the street there.
And the keynote speakers will be there.
Yeah, so Joey Santori from Crime Pays Botany doesn't. He's the actual closing keynote speaker, which ought to be something. But he's going to be there on Friday night, so that's an opportunity to meet him and talk to him, so.
And others.
If anybody wants to go, I think they're asking a $35 donation for tickets, so. The Sierra Club presentation, we're doing, Agnes and I are doing a presentation about invasives on April 10th. We're also doing
Where is that?
that is
Is that in
at,
Schaumburg?
Schaumburg,
yeah, Schaumburg at the, what is the name, Spring
Spring Valley?
Spring Valley.
Spring Valley Nature Center. Then we're doing a presentation on April 28th that's more general about us and our organization to the Arlington Heights Garden Club. They want to get something going over there. And then this Sunday, Chili Fest, John's house.
Gonna have our, how many times have we done this now?
This-
4?
No, more
Four,
than that.
5? Is it?
I don't know, it's 4th, 5th, 6th annual Chili Fest. Open to all our volunteers and everybody else who helps us. It's a good time. Bring a pot of chili. And I see you wrote the time as 4:30 to 8:30. That's not what we put out to everybody. We said
Wait, said 3 to 7?
3 to 7?
3 to 7, yeah,
Oh.
that's what it says.
And
So
then-
this is incorrect.
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
3 to 7.
okay.
And 408 Hillcrest Drive, right here in Prospect Heights. Are we presenting anything, or?
Yeah, we'll do just, I don't know, maybe we run the.
We could run any of the other presentations that
We
we,
have a million presentations we can put together. We could run through, do a test drive on
That
Wild Things.
wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we could see if there's any interest from our volunteers, if anybody wants to
Wear the costume.
wear the
Oh,
Monarch
yes.
or Caterpillar. I know Jerome's in on it, but it takes 5 more people.
right.
And
And
then-
everybody at Wild Things wants to see that caterpillar walking down the hall at Rosemont Convention, at the Stevenson Convention Center.
That, we got a couple ants, but that would definitely need more help on, to put all that together and assemble it and transport it and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we'll decide that in next
Perfect
days to
opportunity.
come.
Great thinking, John. That's a great opportunity to ask people about it.
Okay. No one's here, so there's no visitors. Any announcements to the public?
No announcements to the public?
I
Okay,
make the motion, we adjourn.
Well, second?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We adjourn. Thank you, everybody.